All right, Zainab and Prerna. So we were discussing this topic, valuation of goodwill, and while discussing this topic, we just a minute. Yeah. So we have already understood and covered the various method of the valuation of goodwill, such as average profit method, weighted average method, super profit capitalization method. We did question based on the average profit, weighted profit, super profit method, and we understood the formula for the capitalization method only. We are yet to solve question based on the capitalization method. However, this is one of the easiest method of all, and since because this one is very easy, and therefore I just have only two questions based on the capitalization method, and we will be able to understand the valuation of goodwill by this method only through these two questions. And then once you are done with these questions, you are good to go with the capitalization method. You will completely understood the capitalization method, so we don't have to do lot many questions based on this method. Anyway, so in the previous class we covered the super profit method and the weighted average method. Now in today's session, let's understand how do we actually calculate goodwill based on the capitalization method. So just for the quick recap, we understood this formula. We have already written this formula in the last session. In order to calculate goodwill by capitalization by average profit method, we have this formula: goodwill equals to value of firm minus capital employed. And I have also told you that in order to determine the value of the firm, all we need to do is divide the average profit with the rate of return, multiplying it by 100, we will get the value of the firm. And on the other hand, in order to find out the goodwill by the capitalization of super profit method, we need to just divide the super profit by the ROR. Okay, so let's continue to the question. Question number 66. It says, from the following information, calculate the value of the goodwill of the firm by applying the capitalization method. Total capital of the firm is rupees 16 lakh. Normal rate of return is 10%. Profit for the year 2 lakh. Okay, since this question is not mentioning whether which method we should apply to find out the goodwill of the firm, it just says that we need to apply the capitalization method. But capitalization method also include two methods, na? Capitalization by the average or capitalization by the super profit. So since this question is not specifying with which method need to be applied under capitalization method, so we will be applying we will be calculating goodwill by both the approaches, by capitalization by the average profit as well as with the capitalization of the super profit. All right, everyone. I hope the question is clear to all of you, both of you, in fact.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Is it clear? It's clear. So let's quickly solve this question. Solution to question number 66. So firstly, we need to calculate by goodwill by capitalization of average profit method. The formula is goodwill equals to value of the firm minus the capital employed. Okay. Coming back to the question, the total capital of the firm is 16 lakh, and normal rate of return is 10%. Profit of the year is 2 lakh. So this is the average profit that is given to us, 2 lakh, and normal rate of return is also there. Let's just sorry. So let's do let's just find out the value of the firm. To find out the value of the firm, what we will do, we will divide the average profit divided by ROR minus the capital employed. Capital employed is already there in the question. We don't have to do any calculation for that. Average profit is given as 2 lakh. ROR is how much? It is 10%. And capital employed is 16 lakhs. Okay. So once you will divide 2 lakh by 10%, you will get 20 lakhs minus 16 lakhs. You will get the answer 4 lakhs. Tell me if this is clear, yes or no. Tell me if it is clear, yes or no. Prerna, Zainab.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
This it's clear. Okay. Then we'll apply the second method, goodwill by capitalization of super profit. And the formula for this will be goodwill equals to super profit divided by ROR into 100. And how do we determine super profit? So super profit is determined by subtracting the normal profit of the industry from the average profit of the firm. So average profit of firm minus the normal profit of industry divided by ROR into 100. This is how we determine the goodwill. Oh, sorry. But the thing is that we don't have to do any calculation for finding out the average profit, because average profit is already there in the question, 2 lakh. And in order to find out the normal profit, we need to multiply the capital employed, which is 16 lakhs, with the rate of return, which is 10%, right? And dividing it by ROR, which is 10 into 100. Okay, now let's solve this. When you will solve it, you will get 1 lakh. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, this will be 2 lakh minus 1,60,000. Dividing it by 10, multiplying it by 100. This will be on the numerator, we will have 40,000. Subtracting 160 out of 2 lakh, we will be left with 1 lakh, 40,000 of rupee divided by 10 into 100. Cancelling out this 0 with this 0, answer will be 4 lakhs. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? Prerna, Zainab?
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear. Okay. Please note this down quickly. Both of you, please note it down quickly. Anybody saying something? I'm not able to hear you. Could you please repeat?
Done, sir.
Prerna?
Done.
Done. Okay. Only you are there. Zainab also left the session. Okay. Anyways, let's move to the next question. All right. Prerna, I want you to solve the question. Please solve this question. Question number 67. Done, Prerna.
No, sir, doing.
Okay. Done, Prerna. Answer on screen might not be correct. Make sure. I think the answer in the given on screen is not right for this question. Let me know what is the answer you are getting.
6 lakh.
Yeah, 6 lakh is the correct answer. Okay, so this was all about the valuation of goodwill. So with this, we come to an end of this particular topic. Now, in this chapter, we will be starting a new topic, which is the reconstitution of the partnership. All right. So I just want you to put this heading on your notebook: reconstitution of partnership.
Okay, sir, I'm writing.
Okay. So see, first of all, in this particular topic, we need to understand the meaning of the reconstitution, because it is an important question for the exam. It might be asked in the exam as a theoretical question, that what do you understand by the reconstitution of the partnership firm. So reconstitution is basically it is it is an how can I define it? It is you can define it as the change in the agreement. If any change in agreement is taking place, that is considered as the reconstitution of the partnership. Any change in the existing agreement is called reconstitution of the partnership. Now the question arises: what may lead to change in the existing agreement? Existing agreement between the partners may change whenever any partner get admitted to the partnership. Number one, due to the death of the existing partner, due to retirement of any partner, or due to change in the profit sharing ratio. So as far as the accounting is concerned, we will be discussing about on these points only. Reconstitution may also arise because of some other reason, but as far as the accounting is concerned, from the accounting point of view, there are only four possibilities of reconstitution. There are four modes of reconstitution. You can say it that way. So in simple terms, if we need to define what is reconstitution, we can simply say reconstitution is a change in the existing agreement. Any change in existing agreement lead to formation of the new agreement. And as soon as we prepare a new agreement, as soon as we create a new agreement, old agreement comes to an end. All right, but the question arises: what may lead to reconstitution? So there are four modes or four possibilities which may lead to reconstitution. Let's first of all start with the meaning. It says any change in existing agreement of partnership amount to reconstitution. Any change in agreement, right? And as a result of reconstitution, existing agreement between the partner comes to an end and a new agreement comes into force. Now the question arises, what are the various modes of reconstitution? What may lead to reconstitution? What are the factors of reconstitution? So these are various factors of reconstitution that we need to cover from the accounting point of view. There are other factors as well. There are other modes of reconstitution as well, but that is not the point of consideration from the accounting point of view. From accounting point of view, we need to consider all these four modes of reconstitution, which is change in profit sharing ratio among the partners, admission of a new partner, retirement of existing partner, or death of a partner. These three are the modes of reconstitution. I hope this point is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Prerna, is that okay? Now see, we will cover various mode of reconstitution one by one. First of all, we will start uh, with the change in PSR. How change in PSR affect the partnership. Then we will talk about the effect of admission of a new partner. Then we will talk about the retirement of partner and then death of all of these are different chapters. All these different modes of reconstitution are four different chapters. In the first part of this reconstitution, we will be talking about the change in PSR, reconstitution due to change in PSR. And since I just told you that there are these are various mode of reconstitution and all of these will be studied as a different topic, different chapters in fact. So we'll first of all talk about the reconstitution arising due to change in profit sharing ratio. All right. And let me tell you, whenever reconstitution happens due to change in profit sharing ratio, we need to we may be required to do following adjustment whenever reconstitution is taking place due to the change in PSR. It may require us to do adjustment relating to these things. First of all, whenever profit sharing ratio is changing, we may be required to calculate, we may be required to determine the sacrificing or gaining ratio of the partner. Number one, question may ask us to calculate the sacrificing or gaining share of the partner or ratio of the partner. Then question may also requires us to do the treatment of the goodwill. Question may also ask us to do the treatment of the accumulated profit, reserve and losses in the question. And there may be a possibility that we may be asked to treat the or we may be asked to revalue the asset and liability of the firm. So in respect of the profit sharing ratio, whenever reconstitution is happening, reconstitution is arising due to change in PSR. Whenever reconstitution is taking place due to change in PSR, in such a situation, we may be asked to do following kind of adjustment depending upon the question. I'm not saying that every question in every question we will be required to do these kind of transaction. Depending upon different transaction, different questions, we may be asked to do different kind of treatment. What I'm trying to say is that when we will start discussing reconstitution based on reconstitution due to change in profit sharing ratio, question, you may find the question wherein question is asking you to calculate the gaining or sacrificing. You may be asked to do the treatment of the goodwill. You may be asked to do the revaluation of the asset and liability, and question may be in relation to the treatment of the accumulated profit and reserves and losses. I hope you understand this point.
Yes,
Prerna, is
sir.
that clear to you? Okay, so we'll start our discussion with the calculation of gaining and sacrificing. Okay, so we'll start with this example and then we will move further with question number 68, 69 and so on. But before that, I want you to note all these points in your notebook. Starting with the meaning, please note this point in your notebook. Apart from meaning, also note down modes of reconstitution and various adjustment that may be required when reconstitution take place due to change in PSR. So this is the first topic that we will be discussing under the reconstitution of the partnership form. Got it, Prerna? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir. Sir, but you taught me this chapter till revaluation account.
Okay, so we have already covered these things.
Yes, sir. We are already covered. We are on calculation of goodwill. No, treatment of goodwill.
We are on treatment of goodwill.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So just tell me if you are able to recall everything, if you remember all of these things, or do you want me to revise all these?
Yes, sir. Quick recap.
Quick recap. Okay. All right. So see, first of all, since we need to understand, we need to first of all talk about we need to first of all deal with the determination of sacrificing or gaining share of the partner. So we must have done this example wherein we were required to calculate the gaining or sacrificing ratio of the partner, and for that purpose we will apply this formula. In order to determine the sacrificing or gaining share, we will be applying new share minus the old share. If you are getting the negative value after applying this value, if you are getting the negative proportion of share, that means such partner is sacrificing, otherwise such partner is gaining. Okay, and this is how these are the various questions that we must have done based on the gaining and sacrificing. And since you are saying that we have already covered this topic, so I think if you will try to revise all these questions from your notebook, you will be able to recall these points. If you are find if you find anything difficult while revising, do let me know. We will cover that point specifically in the next class. All right,
Okay.
Prerna. So I
Yeah.
think question 68, 69, since we have already done it, so I don't want to waste more time on these topics. Let's just skip this and move to the treatment of the goodwill. As you said that we needed to discuss the treatment of the goodwill. Just a minute. Okay. So just tell me, Prerna, whether we have completed this topic, the treatment of goodwill, or we need to start this.
We need to start this.
We need to start it. Okay. All right. So as far as the treatment of the goodwill is concerned, the treatment of goodwill depends upon whether the goodwill is the purchased goodwill or it is the self-generated goodwill. Right. So see, there are two types of goodwill, Prerna. One is the purchased goodwill, and then there is self-generated goodwill. If so, the question arises: how do we figure out? How do we determine that which goodwill is the purchased goodwill or which one is the self-valued goodwill? So first of all, remember that, keep that in mind, that whenever goodwill appears in the books of account, whenever goodwill appears in the books of account means whenever goodwill appears in the balance sheet on the asset side, that always means that such goodwill is the purchased goodwill. Only purchased goodwill can be indicated in the books of account, can be written in the books of account. Number one. And if goodwill is not given there in the balance sheet, and instead if the value of the goodwill is given in the adjustment, right? So if it is given in the adjustment, you will always presume that it is the self valued goodwill. Most of the time it is already, or you will find that it is given in the question that which kind of goodwill it is. If it is the self valued goodwill, then it must be given in the such kind of statement will be used, that this is the self valued goodwill, or some kind of adjustment, some kind of statement will be there, and on the basis of that you will be able to determine which kind of goodwill it is. The thing is that just keep that in mind, that whenever you find goodwill appearing in the balance sheet, you will simply presume that it is a purchase goodwill. And if it is outside the balance sheet, that means in the adjustment, somewhere in the adjustment, you need to presume that it is the self valued goodwill. So why do we need to differentiate which is the type, which goodwill is which kind of goodwill? So differentiation is important because the treatment of accounting treatment of the goodwill depends upon the type of goodwill. If it is the purchase goodwill, then as per the rules of accounting, we need to write off such goodwill. We need to write off such goodwill, and for that purpose, we need to pass a separate journal entry. On the other hand, if it is the self-valued goodwill, then the treatment of such goodwill is different. For that purpose, in case of self-generated goodwill, we need to pass the adjustment entry. We need to keep that in mind, that in case of purchase goodwill, we need to pass the writing off entry, and for the self-generated goodwill, we need to pass the adjustment entry. And since the accounting treatment for both the type of goodwill is different, since the accounting treatment for both the kind of goodwill is different, therefore we need to differentiate which goodwill is which kind of goodwill. All right. So now let's talk about the treatment. When it comes to the purchase goodwill, we need to pass the writing off general entry. And writing off entry will be old partners capital account debit to goodwill account. This is the writing off entry. And on the other hand, if we talk about the self-generated goodwill, then we need to do the adjustment entry. And for adjustment entry, we need to pass this journal entry, gaining partners capital account debit to sacrificing partners capital account. Okay, I hope you understand this point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just tell me whether you have you written this in your notebook or not earlier. If it is not there in your notebook, kindly note this down quickly, and then we'll move to the next. We'll start with the question.
Sir, it is written in notebook.
Okay, it is written there.
Yeah.
All right, then so let's quickly move to the question. So question number 82 says X, Y, and Z are partners sharing profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. Decided to share the profit and losses equally with effect from 1st of April. On that date, goodwill appears in the book at rupees 12,000, but it was revalued at 30,000. Pass the journal entry if goodwill will not appear in the book. If goodwill not appear in the book. Now see, it says that on that goodwill appears in the book at rupees 12,000. So this is the value of the goodwill that is appearing in the book, number one. And in the next statement, in the next line, it also says that, but it was revalued at 30,000. So basically, in this question, we have two goodwill. 12,000 is the value of the goodwill that appears in the book. So this is the purchased goodwill. Purchased goodwill. Whereas goodwill which was revalued, this is the self-valued goodwill. Self-valued goodwill. All right. Now, as I just explained that the accounting treatment for both type of goodwill is different, purchase goodwill and self-valued goodwill. So therefore, we need to pass separate journal entry for both kind of goodwills. But before that, we will have to determine the gaining and sacrificing share of the partner. Only then we will be able to pass the adjustment entry. Okay, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what do you think? Will you be able to solve this question? Question number 82. Prerna, do you think you will be able to solve this, or shall I solve? Do you want to try this question?
Yes, I want to try.
Okay, just give it a try. I'm waiting for you to finish. I'm giving you 10 minutes. So 10 minutes. Try to solve it within 10 minutes.
Done, sir.
Done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Just tell me how did you treated the goodwill appearing in the book?
Partners capital account debit to goodwill account.
And in what ratio you have distributed it? In the ratio 5:3:2 or 1:1:1?
5:3:2.
Okay, and in case of the goodwill appearing in the book, what treatment you have done? Prerna, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is
Gaining
the treatment you
capital
did?
account debit to sacrificing
Mhm.
partners capital.
Okay, right. And what is the amount? What is the amount debited to gaining partner's capital account? Who is the gaining partner here, and who is the sacrificing partner?
Y and Z are the gaining and X is the sacrificing.
Okay, so yeah, that is right. Okay, so I'm giving you a few questions for your homework. Make sure you do these questions. Take the screenshot of the question. Question number 83.
Okay.
Take the screenshot. Question number 83.
Done.
Question number 84. Just a minute. Just a minute. Don't do question number 84 since it is not based on the goodwill. Just do one question. Question number 83. Just do one question. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the next class, we will talk about the revaluation account. We haven't covered this topic yet, na?
We have covered
Or
this.
have we covered this one?
Yeah.
So could you please tell me till which topic we have already covered? We covered admission of partner or not?
No, sir.
Okay. All right then. So in the next class, we'll start with the admission of partner. Okay.
Yes, sir.